Here is our book that we're going to be reading today. It's called Forces All Around. In school, my friend Lee and I learned about forces. We learned that a force is a push or a pull. We also found out how to tell if a force is acting on an object. When an object starts moving, or stops moving, that is evidence of a force. On the way home, we decided to play a game. We challenged each other to find evidence of forces. Lee would get a point every time he found evidence. I'd get a point every time I did. The first one was easy. I saw a kid standing on a skateboard. He pushed with his foot and the skateboard rolled forward. There's some evidence, I said. When the skateboard started moving, that was evidence of a force. The force came from his foot pushing on the skateboard. 1 point for me. I'm going to write that down. I got a notebook out of my backpack. Hey, I see some evidence, said Lee. Your notebook was just sitting there in your backpack. Then your hand pulled out the notebook and it moved. That was evidence of a force. 1 point for me, too. Then we saw a mom waiting to cross the street. She had her baby in a stroller. As soon as the walk sign turned on, I said, "There's one." She pushed the stroller and it started moving across the street. That's evidence of a force. We noticed that all our evidence so far was from objects starting to move. We wonder if we could find evidence from something that stops moving. Then our friend Kai skated by. She rolled across the sidewalk and bumped into a fence. "Are you okay?" I asked. "I'm fine," said Kai. "I'm still learning how to skate. I used to fall down a lot, but now I'm getting better. Sometimes I use the fence to help me stop." "That's it," said Lee. Kai was moving and then she stopped when she hit the fence. When she stopped moving, that was evidence of a force. "Watch this," said Kai. "I can use the fence to get going again." She rolled away. "More evidence," I said when Kai started moving again. That was evidence of a force. A car parked in the red zone. There was a tow truck attached to the car. Then the tow truck started up and pulled the car away. "Evidence," we both yelled at the same time. We decided it was a tie. We both got a point. When the car started moving, we agreed that that was evidence of a force. We saw some little kids playing a game. They were using magnets to catch paper fish. The fish had paper clips on them. "I see evidence of a force," said Lee. When that kid held up the magnet near the paper clip moved. It jumped up and stuck to the magnet. The magnet pulled on the paperclip before they were even touching. A kid rode by on a bike. "Look at that kid's foot," said Lee. When his foot pushes the pedal, the bike rolls forward. That's evidence of a force. It was a good one. I had to give Lee another point. We stopped for some ice cream. We got the last 2 ice cream bars left in the cart. The ice cream man was out of ice cream, so he said he was going home. He started pushing the cart away. "Another force," I said. He pushed on the cart and it started moving. Lee spotted the next one and it was a little bit scary. 2 dogs almost got into a fight. They started barking at each other. One dog jumped forward towards the other. It felt glad it was on a leash. "When the dog jumped, it was moving forward," said Lee. Then the leash pulled on it and stopped it. That was evidence of a force. A kid stepped off a wall and jumped onto the sidewalk. "That's evidence of a force," I said. A force made that guy fall down to the ground after he jumped. We walked by the recycling center. They were using a crane with a huge magnet on the end. They lowered the magnet near a pile of metal scraps. The metal scraps jumped up and stuck to the magnet. Those heavy pieces of metal got lifted into the air. That's evidence of a very strong force, said Lee. 2 kids were playing catch on the sidewalk. "See how the ball was flying through the air?" I asked. The kid caught the ball, and it stopped. Stopping is evidence of a force. As we kept walking, we saw lots more evidence of forces. Everywhere, objects were starting to move and stopping moving. Forces really are all around. "So who won the game?" asked Lee. "How many points did we get?" "Sorry," I answered. "Last I remember, we tied at 4-4. But after that, I forgot to keep count. Let's start over tomorrow."